Hello friends, in this video we'll talk about Polish bureaucracy, which works against foreigners. Now, the offices will officially delay residence cards even longer. The regional governors are sending boilerplate replies, and the protest is being prepared in Warsaw. However, the MOS2 system is unexpectedly showing record speeds. We'll simplify legalization math and share ways to speed up your case review. We'll cover everything now, with time codes for convenience. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel right now. Friends, thank you so much to everyone who takes 2 seconds for these simple actions. I appreciate your support. Yes, write in the comments how long you waited or are still waiting for your cherished residence card. And now, let's get down to business. August 2026 and the Polish Office for Foreigners has made an important announcement. The processing time for residence cards and travel documents is frozen. They'll do it when they do it. You can no longer apply earlier than 2 months before the expiration date. The documents will just be discarded without review. Yes, that's exactly what the office's website says. Usually people sigh and move on, but we'll figure out what's behind this, how it works, where did the significant increase in the number of applications come from. Well, it's simple. The system was designed for a single stream 15 years ago. 15 years have passed and reality has changed. Officials haven't increased, the budget remains the same, and paperwork is bottlenecked. Plus, there's a 2 months paradox. Legally, you can stay in the country, but try explaining that to a bank that will block your account, or to an employer. The question arises, what should you do if your case has already been sitting without progress for months? Most people in this situation send a standard request to speed things up, a formal reminder. They wait and send another. But remember, a reminder is just a letter. The office is required to respond to it, but they are not obligated to rush and solve your problem. That's why you get standard replies. The deadlines are frozen, just wait. That's how getting the document can really drag on for years. You need a completely different approach here. The Migrant Guide team doesn't just sit around waiting for things to happen. They get involved in your submitted case and use real legal mechanisms that force the system to respond. Updating documents with strong legal justification, filing official complaints to higher authorities, and, if necessary, submitting a lawsuit to the administrative courts. This isn't just about submitting paperwork, it's full legal support, all across Poland, on autopilot. Specialists handle your case, respond instantly to any requests from the office, and keep you informed of every step. No chaos and no pointless, just wait and don't call. And if something goes wrong, the team's lawyers are ready to appeal any decision, including rejections, short-term cards, and appeals. By the way, the team works remotely throughout Poland. They help with EU long-term resident cards, driver's license replacements, visas to the USA, UK and Canada. Payment can be split into 3 parts. And here's a new feature. Now you can even appeal deportation. So, if it's relevant, any questions, friends? All the contact information will be in the description. Now let's get back to our topic. Why ban early submissions, you might ask? It's not out of spite. When the delays started, people began to panic and storm the agencies. Applying a year or 6 months in advance, sending pen letters, storming the office, and so on. The agencies are simply drowning in paperwork. To avoid collapsing completely, the officials put in a strict filter. They cut off everyone who isn't in urgent need right now and only put out the fire for those whose deadline is tomorrow. An attempt to save a system that puts all the stress on the applicant. Friends, this is simply an example of when the administrative apparatus physically can't handle the number of people and paperwork it's supposed to serve, and in response, you just get dry bureaucratic language. Wait until the very last moment and don't come earlier. Sorry for the inconvenience. How is this quest going for you? Post in the comments, has anyone really received the actual card in these 2 months, or is it just wishful thinking? Comment, I read everything. Yes, let's continue. Very interesting news is coming from Warsaw. At the end of August, foreigners are gathering for a rally at Bank Square. The rally is peaceful. Voice of the Migrant is staging a perfectly reasonable protest against the voivodeship administration. People have waited much longer than the 2 months required by law for their residence cards and documents, but for 12, 18 months or even longer. What does this mean in practice? A person ends up simply in limbo. He can't run his business properly, visit relatives, for example, in Belarus, or plan his life. And the protesters' demand is absolutely simple. Dear officials, follow the law, that is the Code of Administrative Procedure, and abolish the rules that allow officials to legally freeze the time limits for considering cases. The event is planned from 12 to 2, with the exact date between the 19th and 31st of August. Right now they're choosing by vote, just so it's convenient for the majority. That's just how it is now. You still have to work sometimes. You can't rely on social benefits all the time. The link is in the description. Go ahead, vote, and calm yourself if you've had enough, right? Well, this is also, my friends, a classic example of how the official bureaucratic system gets completely deadlocked with real life. The infrastructure simply can't handle the flow of people, and the laws are rewritten just to cover up the failures of the system. Well, again, I urge you to write a comment. Do you think a street protest will make the gears of bureaucracy turn faster? Or will the officials just say, oh God, just write them something and that's it? On the tube, just so it doesn't bark, as my Russian language teacher used to say. What else do we have about the residence cards? Remember, we were collecting signatures for the petition about the Gliadsky governor. He replied. Basically, it's a classic official brush-off, even though it's written politely. If we translate from bureaucratic language to plain language, the governor says the following. We can't keep up because there are too few of us. The number of requests has doubled. There were 6,000 before, now it's 12,500. Staff numbers haven't increased. We're just acting busy, shifting officials between departments and hiring interns to handle the archives. We've opened an info line and are asking people to apply online. Another important point from the governor, it won't get any faster. The main admission in the document, the processing times haven't gotten shorter. The voivodeship is just trying to make sure they don't get any longer. He says it's not our fault, it's the ministry's. To truly solve the problem, new jobs are needed and the money must come from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. That's where the governor supposedly keeps sending requests. So friends, there are no specific time frames or guarantees of speeding things up in the letter. None. That's it. The governor in Podlasky replied like this. We know things are bad. We're doing what we can. Wait and hope for the ministry. That's how it is. What else caught my attention? Some very interesting fresh data has just arrived. It's an infographic from the MOS2 system for July 2026. Our beloved Polish administrative machine has decided to show that it can not only take long pauses, but sometimes even work at record pace. Now, let's break down these statistics in full and see, well, I don't know how to put it exactly, where these gears of bureaucracy suddenly, probably, seem to have gotten greased. So there are still some islands of optimism on the map of bureaucracy. You look at the numbers and out of 5 voivodeships, your eye just twitches for some reason. The MOS2 system, despite skepticism, is showing record results in certain areas. Krakow is in Lesser Poland. The wait for fingerprints is anywhere from about 7 to 47 days. And the story with the residence permit for a newborn looks like a fairy tale. The appointment in 1 month and 9 days, fingerprints in 16 days, and the decision another 9 days later. There's even an example of a decision just 32 days after submitting fingerprints. Lodź. Well, in Krakow, it seems yes, it works well. Lodź, fingerprints in 11 days, and the decision in 1 month and 4 days. By the standards of Polish voivodeships, I don't know, that's not fast. That's teleportation. Gorzów Wielkopolski. Lubusz Voivodeship. Fingerprint appointment in 24 days. Wrocław, for some reason, a fingerprint appointment in 41 days. And Poznań. Booking your own appointment through the system takes 49 days. So look, here we have electronic progress versus the human factor. What's the mechanism here? The mechanism is simple. When digitalization really works and reduces the load of manual data entry, the system can finally breathe a little. You don't have to type in the data from paper with your fingers. It's already in the database. But let's be cautious. Let's not fall into naive excitement. What we have here is not a universal miracle, but a two-speed market. Where the electronic module MOS2 has been rolled out and set up, the process has started, at least a little. However, while some provinces issue decisions within 2 months, in others, officials keep making excuses. Oh, there's so much work. Oh, we're short on people. Oh, don't write, don't call, leave us alone. So there seems to be some progress, but it's distributed very unevenly, depending on the competence and diligence of the management in a particular provincial office. So what do we have in the end? Moscow really can, I don't want to jinx it, work quickly if local officials don't get in the way of digital progress. Krakow shows that administrative hell is not karma, but just a matter of work organization. Friends, write about your impressions and experiences with Moscow. Has anyone already experienced this digital breakthrough themselves? Or are things not going so well for you? Let me remind you that if things aren't going well for you, I recommend reaching out to my friends, The Immigrant Guide. The link is in the description. Friends, that's the information. Thanks for your attention. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Big greetings to the working class, churners, milling machine operators, builders, computer guys. See you next time.